This verse was the inspirational catalyst that led to the great carol, Joy to the World. Penned by Isaac Watts in 1719, the carol, like many of Watts' compositions, was based on the Psalms. Watts was born in 1674 and grew up with an unusual family dynamic. His father was a nonconformist, imprisoned twice for his religious views. Watts was well-schooled, learning Greek, Latin, and Hebrew, and was offered a university education, which he turned down to pursue the theological training. Before beginning his preaching career at age 24, Watts spent 2 years at home writing the bulk of his great work, Hymns and Spiritual Songs. The work caused quite a stir, and it was the first to include non-Psalms texts. In total, Watts wrote roughly 60 theological and philosophical works, in addition to the 700 hymns he composed. Watts is most remembered for When I Surveyed the Wondrous Cross, O God, our help in ages past, and Joy to the World. For more than a century, Joy to the World was sung to numerous tunes that fit its poetic structure. In 1839, Lowell Mason published a tune that has become associated with the text. Mason lived for many years in Savannah, Georgia, as a bank clerk, pursuing his love of music on the side. Mason did submit works to the published, and after their great success, Mason became the director of music at the Hanover Green and Park Street churches, alternating congregations every 6 months. Mason's setting was based on the works of his great hero, George Frederick Handel's Messiah. The opening 4 notes of Joy to the World are taken from the chorus, Lift Up Your Heads, and the middle section, And Heaven and Nature Sing, was taken from the intro, Conform Ye My People. Mason himself couldn't determine where Handel's works ended and his began, so he credited the work as from George Frederick Handel, and for nearly 100 years, the world accepted this ascription until later, musicologists discovered the connection to Mason. Despite its early critics and a century without a specific tune, Joy to the World has become a timeless carol. There are few hymns that rival in the quality or international popularity. Taking the various Psalms, Watts viewed them from the perspective of Jesus in the New Testament and formed them into new verses for singing. I have rather expressed myself as I suppose David would have done if he lived in the days of Christianity. As Watts read Psalms 98, he pondered the true reason for shouting joyfully to the Lord. The Messiah has come to redeem his people.